Monica, Rahman, Prem and Ravi, Kavya, Pinky, Sunny, Vinod, Charan, Jayashree, Aditya, and Hizabi, everyone, very good morning. And I want to announce a small update. So here today we are going to start this Geography Live online course. So in this course, we are going to cover your Indian geography and world geography within 60 hours, and for today and tomorrow you can attend free of cost. And here we also provided you the link and even passcode to attend those Zoom classes, so you can use that and you can join this class at 6 p.m. today, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. today and tomorrow. Okay, use this opportunity so that you can get orientation regarding this geography and some important topics there we will be covering. Okay, is that okay, students? Yeah, let us start with our analysis. And today we are going to discuss current affairs of 20th September 2023. Yes, I can feel somewhat better, but there is some irritation in the throat. So first topic here is India denies any role in Nizar's killing in Canada. So this article which is talking about the Sikh leader killed in Canada, and because of this here there will be impact on India-Canada relations, and even in our editorial one lead article which covered this India-Canada relations. So we are going to discuss that in very detail, and this topic is important from your international relations point of view, which comes in your GS paper 2. And here we are going to see like how it is going to deteriorate India-Canada relations, and you have to see why Canada is much focusing on Sikhs. Okay, so here you have to even know about this Khalistan movement which happened in India, right? So because of this Khalistan movement, so India which is having some adversaries with this Sikhs, but here Canada is very much close to this Sikhs. So because of this, it may deteriorate relationship between India and Canada. So you have to see that. And next topic is government introduces women's quota bill in Lok Sabha. Prime Minister called for a consensus. So please let me know what is the need of this bill now. So why we need reservation for women's in political participation? Let me know fast. So what is the need? Yes, it will be helpful for women empowerment. Very good. Yeah, first one is it will be helpful for women empowerment. Yet women issues can be brought into light. Women issues can be brought into light. Next, we can address issues of women. Very good. Next one is we can also ensure gender equality. Very good. Yes, we can increase women participation. So one more thing here you have to remember is if you're taking population into account, so we have women, we have male, and we have children. So women also comes as a significant part of our society. Why we can't allow women? Okay, very good. So here you have to see what is this bill is about. First one is what is this bill and how much percentage of reservation for women. So that will be important from your prelims point of view. And even you have to see what is the need and what are the arguments in favor of this bill and what are the arguments which are against. And this topic is at most important from your mains. So you may get directly a question or even essay. And one more thing I want to say is, so in recent UPSC 2023 mains, so most of the questions you are from our Hindu discussions and even from our mains answer writing practice. So students who are following our analysis daily without any missing, then you might know about our hard work and you might know about which are the topics that we had enough discussion in our discussions. And even if you are part of mains answer writing practice, yes, in our live classes, so what are the topics we discussed and the direct questions came from that only. Okay, so don't miss this Hindi analysis because we are teaching from the UPSC mains perspective. Okay, is it clear? Now let us see this topic in detail. And as usual, this topic is important from your polity, which comes under GS paper 2. So context says that in the historic move after the special session shifted to new Parliament House, our Prime Minister, government introduced Women Reservation Bill in Lok Sabha, and this bill which is talking about reservation of 1/3 seats in the lower house and assemblies for women. So this bill is talking for reservation of women, that is 1/3 seats. That will be around 33% of seats for women in both Lok Sabha and as well as legislative assemblies in the state level and in the central level. So we have to reserve 33% of seats for women. And now let us see about this bill. So the Women Reservation Bill, which proposes to reserve 33% of seats in Lok Sabha and as well as state legislative assemblies for women. And here UPSC can play a game. It can say that reservation for only Lok Sabha or reservation only in the Rajya Sabha. So, or reservation in legislative assembly. So in this way you can get a question or statement in your prelims, but you must be very much careful. You have to keep in your mind that it will be for Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly, not for Rajya Sabha. Is it clear? And next one is reserved seats may be allocated by rotation to different constituencies in the state or union territory. And this reservation of seats for women shall cease to exist 15 years after commencement of this amendment. So it is not a permanent thing again. So it is just we are focusing on giving a push for women to enter into politics. After once woman is entering into politics and there will be no reservation after 15 years. So this is about this bill. Is it clear? Any doubts? And now let us see what is the need of this bill. So according to this Global Gender Gap Report of 2022, India's ranking is 48 out of 146 in political empowerment. That means there is a low participation of women in politics. Notwithstanding its rank, its score is quite low. It is 0.267, and some of the best ranking countries in this category which is scoring much better. So Iceland is ranked 1 and Bangladesh ranked 9 and score is 0.546. So actually we are sharing boundary with a lot of countries, right? So even Bangladesh is one such a country which India is sharing boundary. And you all know that. So in Bangladesh also there are many issues. But if you are comparing with this gender equality, so Bangladesh is doing much more better compared to that of India. So please tell me, who is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh? Board is not clear. Is it clear now? Increase the video quality. Actually, there is some problem, I think so, from technical side. Is it clear now? Shall we move on? Yes, Sheikh Hasina, very good. And if you see arguments in favor of this bill, so why we need this? Actually, if you are talking about this political parties, they are patriarchal in nature. Patriarchal means nothing but male dominant society. So in this male dominant society, if we want to focus on women empowerment, so women need to enter into politics. And here you have to know about one more concept, that is panchayat patis or sarpanch patis. So the sarpanch patis concept will comes under 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. So the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, which talks about panchayats. Actually, this panchayats is not present in our original constitution, but we came up with this 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and we came with this establishment of panchayats, right? So what happened now, the issue is, even the women who are elected as panchayats, so their husbands will be running everything. So this concept is called as sarpanch pati concept. So even though our society is patriarchal society, yes, we have to encourage women so that there will be women empowerment and gender equality can be assured. Yes, this video covers entire video of today's newspaper. And next one is women, they are still underrepresented in parliament and reservations will ensure that women can enter into parliament and legislative assemblies. And more women in decision making positions are very much need to address what are the crimes are there against women, because women, they can understand the problems of women, right? So here we can address the crimes related women and participation of women in workforce. So for that also, yes, this reservation is very much important. And I want to give you one mains question. Are you ready to answer this question? So I hope you can see question on the screen, right? Question is, the reservation of seats for women in institutions of local self-government has had a limited impact on patriarchal nature of Indian political process. Comment. So this question is talking about because of this concept of sarpanch pati. So even though reservation is provided for women, but there is no or less impact on this patriarchal society. So you have to give your comment on this statement, whether it is yes or no. Yes, there is technical issue, I think so. Actually, there is some technical issue, I think so. If any problem arises, and I will be quitting this live and I will come up with recorded video. Is this okay? Ma'am, will this bill become an act this time? This time means I don't know whether this is going to be passed or not. So if this bill, which is passed in both the houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and if President gives assent, then that will be finally will becomes an act. Okay, so this is the question, and let us see the next topic. So in the next topic I have to ask a lot of questions. So be ready. So title says 3 Hoysala temples declared World Heritage Sites. So here you have to focus on this. What is this Hoysala? So in which state we can see these Hoysala temples? So this is first question. And in these Hoysala temples, which type of temple architecture is seen? Yes, tell me. Yes, very good, Sukanya. Yes, Charan. Yes, Aruna. Legend. AIT. Not Dravidan, Sunny. Yes, in state of Karnataka, we can see this Hoysala temple architecture, and it includes Vesara type of architecture. So normally we will be having 3 types of temple architecture. So whenever you are writing any answer regarding temple architecture, try to draw the map. So here in this northern part, we can see Nagara, and the southern part we can see Dravida, and here in middle we have Vesara. But this Hoysala temple, even though they are present in the southern part of our country, we have this Vesara style of temple architecture. Okay. Yes, let us move on. And this topic is at most important from your GS paper 1 under art and culture. So here, what are the image that you are seeing? This is image of Chennakeshwar temple at Belur. Okay, so this is the Chennakeshwar temple at Belur. And whenever you are reading this temple architecture, so one tip from my side is you have to remember the different temples and their locations. So if time permits, you can see like in which places they are present also. That will be helpful for better presentation in your mains answer. So here in introduction, Hoysala temples at Belur, Halabad and Somnathapur in Karnataka. So these 3 temples are present in state of Karnataka. They are declared as UNESCO World Heritage Sites on Monday. Okay, so whenever they are declared as this World Heritage Site, so that will also increase or that will also boost our tourism. So these places will be included into the new tourist places in India so that we can attract tourists to these places. And now let us see some more important details which are given here. So this Chennakeshwar temple at Belur and Hoysaleswara temple at Halabad, they had been made into this UNESCO tentative list, that is list to get this UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2014. But now in this year 2023, they got this status. And Keshwar temple at Somnathpur in Mysore district was appended to another 2 monuments under tentative list, and finally they got this status in 2023. And here why they are special? Because they are having distinct style. Their temple architecture which is having more ornaments, like ornamental structures are present on their surfaces, and whatever the material they used, they belongs to this chlorite sheet, and the plan which is stellate plan. Okay, star shaped planning is called as stellate plan, and the temples are present on a raised platform. So these are some important characteristics of this Vesara style of architecture. So now let us see in detail regarding this Hoysala architecture. So Hoysala architecture, it is a building style. So during which period it was developed? It was developed during 11th and 14th century, and normally these temples are seen in the state of Karnataka. And Hoysala temples are sometimes called as hybrid temples or Vesara. So hybrid temple structure is nothing but it is a combination of both Nagara and Dravida temple architecture. And this Hoysala temples, they have basic Dravidian morphology, so which shows strong influence of Bhumija mode, and it is normally seen in central India. And even you are having this Nagara style, okay, like for example Karnataka Dravida modes favored by Kalyani Chalukyas. So it is having both the characteristics of Dravida and as well as Nagara. And this Hoysala architects, they made some considered and informed eclectic selections of features, and they have separate images they will be carved on the surface of the temples. And if you see here, Hoysala temple, instead of consisting of a simple inner chamber with a pillared hall, so it will be having even multiple shrines. So if you go to this image which is given in the newspaper, so here we have normally this will be the main temple, right? So here we will be also having the subsidiary shrines, here like this, here like this. So this is the one important characteristics of this Hoysala architecture. So is it clear? And if you are talking about what is this World Heritage Site, so here we have UNESCO. So UNESCO is nothing but United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. So it will be giving this list, that is World Heritage Site list. So in this World Heritage Site, so we have three types of sites. So first one will be Cultural Heritage Site, second one is Natural, and third one is Mixed. So in Mixed we have only one, that is including natural and culture, that is Kanchenjunga National Park. And this culture means, so it includes art or architecture which is belonging to the hundreds of historic buildings and town sites, important architectural sites or important works of monuments, all will come under this culture sites. For example, we have Dholavira, which is a urban city. And next one here is natural sites. They are nothing but we have excellent ecological and environmental process, and we are having unique natural phenomena, habitats of rare and endangered species. So those will come in a natural heritage site. For example, Great Himalayan Park. Okay. So in this way you have to remember which are those World Heritage Sites which are located in India. So from that point of view also you can get a prelims question. So you have to prepare from that angle as well. And next topic it is about India-Canada relations. So it is talking about serious allegations. So here you have to see how these incidents regarding this sex going to affect this India-Canada relations, and you have to see map of Canada and which countries it is bordering with and which are the water bodies which are surrounding this Canada. And you can also see like what is the impact on India-Canada relations. Okay, so why Canada is concerned and why India is concerned. So those are the important things that you have to remember regarding this topic. So now let us see this topic in detail. So what happened recently, Canada's Prime Minister, he made a statement that credible information is linking Indian government agents to murder of Sikh separatist leader in British Columbia. So because of the death of the Sikh leader, so there is a hand of Indian government. So this is a statement which is given by Canadian government. So because of this announcement which is going to have significant impact on India-Canada relation, and it is going to worsen bilateral ties between India and Canada. So why India is focused on this Canada Sikh community? So if you're talking about why India is focused here is, so Canada, if you see, most of the population of this Canada is Sikhs. Around 1.4 million, they are Sikhs of Indian origin. And about 7,70,000 people, they reported that Sikhism as a religion in 2021 census in Canada. And Canada has highest population of Sikhs outside their home state of Punjab. So because of this, always India is bothered with this Sikh diaspora which is present in Canada. And India has often complained to Canada's government about what are the activities these Sikh hardliners among this Indian diaspora who are trying to revive the insurgency. Actually, always there will be one threat for India from this Sikh. Okay, always there will be one threat from Sikh, that means Khalistani movement. So these are the Sikh people who are present outside India, but they may also have influence on the Sikhs who are present in India, so that there will be revival of this movement or insurgency. India-Canada relations, they have previously tested by the events such as bombing of an Air India aircraft in 1985 by Canadian-based Khalistani separatist group. So because of this Canadian-based Khalistani separatist group, they already made attack on our aeroplane. So because of this, if what happens, if there is anything which is happening wrong in Canada regarding this Sikhs, so there might be the impact on India. So because of this, to maintain safety and security in India, so this Canadian Sikhs will be always the cause of concern for India. So Khalistani movement is nothing but, do you know about this Operation Blue Star, Mahek? Operation Blue Star. So anyone know about this Operation Blue Star? Anyone? Have you completed reading your post-independent India? Yes, in Golden Temple, very good legend. Yes, Indira Gandhi did this. Yes, what happened? Punjabs. In Punjab, Sikhs, they were demanding for the separate Sikh state. Okay, and they are doing activities against government at that time, and even insurgency. So these people, they hide in Golden Temple to kill these people who are provoking these ideas. So our government, during the time of Indira Gandhi, they came with Operation Blue Star. After that only she was shot dead by Sikh. Okay. So if you have completed this post-independent India, you will be knowing about this. It is a very, very important thing. And how it is going to deteriorate our ties between India and Canada. So India-Canada ties, they have been deteriorated rapidly in the recent years because of this Khalistani supporters in Canada. They are working against Indian interest. So because of this, we are always staying away from Canada. And Indian diplomacy has been consistently raising the issue of these Hindu temples in Canada. They were being vandalized and defaced by these Khalistani groups. So these active Khalistani groups in Canada, they are attacking these Hindu temples in Canada, and they are vandalizing, they are attacking and they are demolishing these Hindu temples in Canada. So because of this, always diplomats, they will be discussing this issue between India and Canada. So how this will be going to affect exactly the ties between India and Canada? So first one is, two countries, they could agree on a line of trade deal. So by the end of 2023, we are talking that we can come up with this trade deal between India and Canada. But these talks, they have been now frozen. That means there is no further movement of these talks because of this Khalistanis. And next one is, India is Canada's 10th largest trading partner, and is also planning to come up with a trade deal. Okay, so but we are not going to have that. And this decision, which reflects Government of India growing concern at the interference of Canadian diplomats in our internal matters and their involvement in anti-Indian activities. So these Khalistani activists, they are doing the activities which are against India. Okay, so this is the issue. And next one is, several efforts in the recent years to reset India-Canada relations, they have run aground over Canadian side's persistent stance that the activities of these pro-Khalistan elements are covered. Sorry for interruption. So not only this, India and Canada, they are doing a lot of efforts to normalize this relationship between India and Canada, but it is not going in a right way. And now let us see the map here. So this color part, a portion that you can see is Canada. So Canada is sharing boundary with only USA. So this part is called as Alaska, but this Alaska is also belongs to USA. So USA here and USA here. So this is the thing that you have to remember. And if you see water bodies here, we have Labrador Sea, we have Beaufort Sea, and we have Pacific Ocean, and this part which comes under Atlantic Ocean. Okay, thank you for your support. So this part is Canada. So here you have to remember even this Hudson Bay is very important. So you can get a question like, so where is this Hudson Bay located? Okay, so here we have this Hudson Bay, and here we have Labrador Sea, and the current which is present here is oceanic current, that is Labrador current, and here we have Beaufort Sea, Pacific Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean. Is it clear? And next topic is the mantras that powered success at this G20 summit. So please let me know fast. So what are the important outcomes of G20 summit that recently held? This is 18th G20 summit, right? Which is hosted by India. Where it was done? That is in New Delhi. Yes, tell me what are the highlights? Yes, New Delhi Declaration. Next, Biofuel Alliance, very good. Yes, IMEC, very good point. Admission of African Union into this G20. This is the major one, right? Next. Yes, net zero. Or we can talk about emissions. So here we have to see about what are the highlights of this G20 or what are the outcomes of this G20. So this topic is important from your international relations point of view. Let us see this thing. So recently 18th G20 summit which held in New Delhi, and it is on September 9th and 10th 2023, and this summit, it is for the first time India hosted this G20 leader summit. So in the summit, the theme here is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that means the world is one family, and major outcomes are, the first one here is admission or admittance of African Union into this G20. So your G20 leaders, they agreed to admit this African Union as the permanent member of G20. So this is the first major step or major thing which happened in this G20 as India as a president. And next one is they also came up with this Global Biofuel Alliance. And they want to develop alliance of governments, international organizations, industry, and they want to promote the adoption of this biofuels. And next one is the initiative seeks to position biofuel should be the key component in the energy transition. because now we are talking about this climate change, impacts of climate change. So every country is facing issues with this climate change, right? So because of this, yes, we need to move towards renewable energy. So one such alternative that we have here is moving towards this using of biofuels. And we also came up with IMEC, that is India Middle East Economic Cooperation or Economic Corridor. So in this corridor, we are connecting India with West Asia with Europe. So we are connecting by using roadways, railways, etc. And it is one measure to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative. And next one here is we also came up with financial inclusion document also. So in this financial inclusion document, the G20 Global Partnership for Financial Inclusion document. So this document, which is prepared by World Bank, and it is going to have a transformative impact of digital public infrastructure over the next decade. And this one is we are also focusing on tapping of global renewable energy capacity by 2030. So we have to work on that exactly. Okay. Yes, you can write, Sukanya. And next one is global renewable energy capacity by 2030. We have to tap that. So why? Because we have to avoid this carbon dioxide emissions by 7 billion tons so that we can achieve this carbon neutrality. And they also focused on this food security and nutrition as well. So here G20 leaders recognizes the importance of addressing rising commodity prices, like including food and energy prices. So we can also contribute to the cost of living pressures. And finally, the important aim here is to address this hunger, malnutrition, and we have to address these issues regarding this pandemics, conflicts, especially because vulnerable people, they are going to be affected a lot. It has not yet renamed G21 Mahek as of now. There is no update. Okay, so these are some important highlights that you have to remember. And now let us see next topic. It is about simultaneous polls. Do states have a say? That means whenever we are talking about coming up with one nation, one election, so whether we have to take permission from the states or not. So this is the thing which mainly asked here. So please let me know whether there is a need of taking permission of the states or not. Yes, tell me whether there is a need of taking permission of states or not. Fast. Yes or no? If yes, why? If no, why? So if yes, why? Kavya, Sukanya, Sanidhya, Prem, Chet Gaming. If you have completed this topic of amendment of constitution, have you done with this topic amendment of constitution? How many types of majority? So we have simple majority, we have absolute majority, we need to have effective majority and special majority. So in this special majority also we will be having two types. First one is 2/3 of majority of present and voting, and 2/3 of majority of present and voting plus half of states plus 50% of states, right? So whenever we are changing the federal character, yes, we need to take permission of the states. So that is according to Article 368 of Indian Constitution. So Article 368 talks about there can be the amendment made to our constitution, because our constitution is not a dead thing like our which is not like a static thing like our epics like Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc. It is a living constitution. So our constitution is a living constitution. That means whenever there is a need to come up with a change, we can change our constitution through constitutional amendments. So we can make amendments to the constitution so that we can change constitution according to the needs and aspirations of society. Okay, so because of this, yes, we need to take permission from the constitution. So here you have to remember this article 368 of Indian Constitution. And you have to see even different types of majority, and please let me know what is a special majority, absolute majority, effective majority and simple majority. Okay, so please let me know in the comment box. Don't forget. And if you see the context, it says that recently 8-member high-level committee which was being set up. Our union government came up with setting of committee, and this committee is under leadership of former Indian President, that is Ramnath Kovind ji, and this committee is going to see feasibility of the simultaneous polls to assemblies and as well as Lok Sabha, whether we can go with the simultaneous elections or not. And next one is, so this is 8-member committee and they are going to give some recommendations regarding the simultaneous elections. Okay, so here you have to see some important points. So this article says that our constitution, which is a living document, and because of this we can come up with the changes as per the needs of the people. So article 368 governs the process of amending the constitution and the constitutional provisions that require the ratification. That means at least 50% of states, they need to ratify in order to amend the constitution under this article 368 subclass 2 of our Indian constitution. Is it clear, or are you having any doubts? So in August 2018, the Law Commission of India, chaired by Justice B.S. Chauhan, he released a draft report stipulating that simultaneous elections are not feasible within the existing framework of constitution. So as in 2018 itself, one commission, that is Law Commission of India, said that we cannot go with this simultaneous election, and we have to wait and see like what is this Ramnath Kovind committee will be saying about this simultaneous elections. So any doubts? So if you have any doubts, so please let me know. Yes, clear, right? And one more thing here is, so we are coming up with this geography live classes course, and the cost here is 3,000 rupees. So if anyone who are interested, try to join this course, so that will be very beneficial. Okay, so it will be like a two-way communication itself in that live sessions also. So there you can raise your voice, because in many online platforms they will be asking you to type your doubts in the chat box, but here the Zoom session is not like that. You can unmute and you can ask your doubts directly. So there will be having two-way communication, so that will be very much helpful. Try to join this. And even I am giving the ID and password here, meeting ID and password, so you can join this session today and tomorrow. It is free for all. Okay, is it clear? And now let us see our PDF. So that's all. This is for the first page, and the second page is also nothing much important, and you can directly move on to this states page. So in the states page, I discussed about this topic. It is about Hoysala temples declared as World Heritage Site, and this year you can get a question regarding this World Heritage Site and Hoysala temple architecture. And this editorial page, I discussed about this G20 article, I discussed about this India-Canada article. Okay, even in the description box also we provided that link. You can use that link at 6 p.m. So by sharp 6 o'clock the class will be started, and the class it is for 2 hours, 6 to 8. And already we discussed about this Kaveri Water Management Authority number of times. So because of this you can revise this topic. So I don't want to watch much time of yours. And in this text and context I discussed this topic regarding simultaneous elections. And here you have to focus. Here you have to focus on this simultaneous elections. What is that? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Already we had discussion on that topic number of times. Okay. And if you move on, in this news page also most of the articles are regarding this India and Canada itself. You can leave them, there is nothing much important. So how it is going to affect India, that is much enough, nothing more, nothing less. And here you can see this Aditya L1 heads towards Lagrange point 1. Yes, you have to see this Aditya L1. So what is this Aditya L1? It is solar mission, and we are going to place this Aditya on this L1 Lagrange point 1. And finally India's first space-based observatory, so which is going to study sun, that is Aditya L1, which was launched on September 2, is headed to this L1 after ISRO carried out this trans-Lagrange insertion maneuver on September 19th. So we are going to see it is going to be placed in this L1 soon. And next one is WHO releases report on global impact of high BP. So what happened because of this high BP, that is a high blood pressure. So do you know what is a normal blood pressure? How to join the 6 p.m. class? Amir, you can visit this video once again, or even in our Rathod Science community also you will be getting the link. So click on the link and enter the meeting ID and passcode. That's it. You can join the class. Not 80 by 120, it is 120 by 80. Systolic and diastolic pressure. Okay, 120 by 80 mm of Hg. So what happens? So in this hypertension also we will be having different stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. So because of this increasing of BP, that will leads to stroke, heart attack, and heart failure, kidney damage, and even other problems. So because of this hypertension is one of the important and leading cause of deaths, not only in India, across the world. So you have to maintain your health. And in this page you can see oil prices touch 10-month high on supply concerns. So what happened here? There is a cut of crude oil supply by this Saudi Arabia and Russia. So because of this decreasing of supply in the market, that will create huge demand. So whenever there is huge demand, automatically prices will be increased. Okay. Yes, today and tomorrow free classes. You can join today and tomorrow. Okay. So because of decreasing of supply, there is decreased supply of this crude oil into market. On another side there is increased demand. So because of increased demand, what happened? There will be high prices. So whenever this petrol and diesel prices increasing, overall transportation cost will be increased. That will further leads to increasing of prices of goods and service in market. So this condition is called as inflation. Can you correct this flowchart now? Yes, class link is given in description box also, and even the community. Okay, so class is at 6 p.m. Exact 6 p.m. you will be having class. So there is decreasing of supply of oil, that will leads to increasing of demand in the market, and finally increasing of prices. So whenever there is increasing of price of petrol and diesel, automatically overall transportation cost will be increased. and that will lead to increasing of price of goods and services in the market. That is called as inflation. So class, it is not on YouTube, it is on Zoom. Okay, any doubts? So if you want, you can also make a flow chart like this. Okay, so these are the articles which are important from our Hindu point of view. So don't miss to attend the class. So try to attend the class. Okay. So try to save the link, ID and passcode. So for 2 days, today and tomorrow, you will be having free live class. So there we will be discussing a lot of topics. So try to attend that. That will be more helpful. And one more thing here is we are also having this mains answer writing practice. So students who are facing problem with mains also, you can join that course. So if you have any query regarding these courses, so please call me on this number. Or if you want to join this geography class also, you can call me on this number 8074765513. So regarding the payment of this course, if you text me on this number in WhatsApp, I will be sending you the QR code of Rathod's IS. So by using this code, you can do the payment. So after the payment, you can get the Telegram channel link and you will be joining that group. So in that group, you will be getting daily practice questions for prelims and mains, everything. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for attending this session. And try to hit the like button before leaving the class. And share this video to your friends also in other groups, etc. And if you are watching this Rathod Science Academy for the first time, please do subscribe.